TikTok is a bit of a wasteland. There's a lot of garbage out there, but there's also some good things. So what we're going to do in this new series is declare whether these drills or videos are baller or bogus, and see if any of this stuff on TikTok is actually worth your time. I'm sifting through the garbage for you, so you don't have to. Anyway, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. You guys have been great so far. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Jordan. I was a high school basketball player turned college basketball player turned trainer, and today we're gonna take a look at some TikTok drills. Let's go. So starting with none other than Steph Curry. He'll probably be in the thumbnail, let's be real. If you're not Steph Curry, you shouldn't be doing this. The dribble goggles are typically made to, they're kind of like horse blinders. They'll keep you from looking down. I don't think he needs to stop looking down when he's dribbling. That's not really a problem he has. I think they're literally just on there because he wants the extra challenge. I mean, you put on drunk glasses and you probably get the same result. And then we're back to the tennis ball snatching thing. It's fine. Again, it's going to overload your system. It's going to make you focus on more things at once. But if you're trying to just get a stronger handle, don't do this. A lot of people think that they need to do this to unlock their handle. There's so much more that you can do before you get to this point. Do anything else. I'm going to give that a bogus instead of a baller. Mostly just because it's not that you can't use the stuff in there. You know what? I'll actually do this. I'll give it a baller, but with like a pro asterisk next to it. Most people, you need to just be focusing on, you know, basic 2-ball drills at max, as opposed to doing all this like tossing and crossover stuff like that. You can get so much more game specific and get similar results without having to throw 3-ball drills in there, or 3 tennis balls, or, you know, whatever, dribble goggles. You know that. So just, it's alright, it's kind of middle. Well, tennis ball stuff never ends, does it? I'm gonna say what this is trying to do first. This is trying to get you to where you're aware of defenders and their hands and other people competing in the air with you, trying to alter or block your shot. And it's teaching you how to move yourself and the ball in the air with like active feedback, being the tennis ball. You don't need a tennis ball to do this though. That's the big thing. If you're gonna have a person there, like, you can't toss the tennis ball by yourself, like, have them actually do something that's worth your time instead of, you know, you got your friend to toss you a tennis ball for TikTok. I don't. There's one of these that I think is the most useful. So the catch layup is interesting because look at where his hand is. His hand is actively basically fending off like a defender potentially. And that catch is kind of teaching your hand to go up there and finish with a second hand. Because you might be doing a one-hand finish, but that doesn't mean your offhand just gets to sit to the side. Like, do something about it. And this is probably the one that I'd say is the most applicable. You're not allowed to push an extended hand away fully, but you are allowed to hold your hand there and just keep them from getting any further. And that's what this drill would do. So overall, bogus.
Last summer, I started working with Mike, legendary shooting coach, and Don McClain. And then I was with Mike Penberthy for like my first 4 or 5 years in the league. He had me just shooting like from range with heavy balls. I'm shooting like 3-pound balls from the NBA 3-point range, right?
Crazy.
Which is crazy because you got to be strong, you got to be on balance, you got to be like locked in to shoot and make.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. You want to get better range? Learn how to use your legs in your shot and go to the weight room. Do not shoot a heavy ball. Why would you do that? Please don't do that. Please do not start shooting a heavy ball. It's not gonna help you. because what it's gonna do is it's gonna destroy your touch, it's gonna destroy your follow through, and you're probably going to end up developing some very inconsistent mechanics because your body is having to push a ball into the air that is 3 times the weight that it's actually used to. No, heavy ball is not meant to be shot. It's meant to be dribbled and passed. That's about it. Do not go further than that. Goodness.
There's 3 weird looking shooting drills that will get your shot absolutely right. The first one, eyes closed dribbling, moving around for about 3 to 5 seconds. Then you're going to get into your shot at the last second right before you pick up. You're going to open your eyes, try to locate where you are, and make that shot as fast as you possibly can.
The issue I'm running into more with this first drill is not necessarily that it's bad, because it can help you get to the point where you can open your eyes, see where you are exactly on the court, and then shoot a shot quickly. That takes a decent amount of skill to be able to find the rim and shoot it and make shots. It's just, you can do a lot of other things in the gym. You know, basically you put yourself through like a kind of a cone drill setup, and you basically just do a bunch of crossovers or like fake coming off of screens and stuff like that, and then you shoot the ball, focused on getting through the cones first and then getting into your shot. You're not going to have your eyes closed in a game, obviously. When you have limited time in the gym, don't dribble around blind and then try and shoot a bunch of random shots from inconsistent spots.
Second one, we're training our feel on our shot. So as soon as you shoot, you are going to turn around and say in or out. You should be able to hear it if you are on your own. If you have a partner, even better. You can even become more specific with a left, right, short miss, or you can obviously, again, just say in if it's going in. So this is really just going to help build your touch and your feel for your shot. In.
Same deal. It's just, you can do that without turning around. You know, you can just do that during regular reps. You don't have to make that a specific drill that you're like, oh, it's in or it's out. Like, typically you shoot enough shots and eventually you're going to be like, that's left, that's short. You're going to know exactly how you've missed the shot. And then you just shoot another rep. It's pretty simple. You don't have to specifically train this. It just seems a little, it's another overkill kind of drill.
The last one is audio cue pickup. So you're dribbling around, working on your handle, dribbling slow, quick, moving around. And then whenever your partner wants, they're going to say go as quick as you possibly can. You need to pick up, get into your shot. So we're not only training our handle, we're training our pickup, we're training our balance, we're training our shot all at the same time. Shot.
That one's actually pretty good. That's going to teach you how to get into a pickup really quick. Obviously, nobody's going to tell you when to shoot when you're in a game and say, shoot the ball, like every single shot, with some exceptions, obviously. If you're wide open, your coach is screaming at you, shoot it, then that. But, you know, when it comes to just being able to get a quick pickup into a pull, yeah, that's a good way to go about it, because you don't know when you're going to get that opening, but you should be ready for it at any point, and you should be dribbling, you should be pounding that dribble hard enough that you can get right into the pocket without having, you know, to take another dribble or to like kind of gather it. You should be quick into that, because that's really going to help a lot of people, especially undersized players, get their shot off. So overall, bogus, but there is a good drill in there, so silver lining.
2, 3, 8, 9, 10.
What is that gonna do? What does that do? What is that training? Look, man. Can I do this? No, I can't. Should I do this? Also, no, I shouldn't. Because this is training you how to dribble quickly and catch a tennis ball? What are you doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing? What's the point? What is the point? Like, you have to look down the entire drill, so you're not even, like, looking up. You're just tossing a ball up and down. You're getting a lot of cardio in, so that's awesome, I guess. If you have, 5 square feet, you need to do that. It looks cool. Bogus. No. Okay, yeah. So dribbling low is a common problem that a lot of players have, where they can't get low enough and they're not used to being that low, so it's a foreign concept for them. And this would be a good example of a stationary way in which you can force yourself to go low by touching the ground with every dribble. It's challenging to do this. This is a challenging series to be able to touch the ground every single time. It's difficult. But if you want to get lower to the ground, this is one of the things you could do, especially in a stationary context, where you can get used to being that low to the ground while handling the ball and not being out of control, you know, with your body or with the ball. So, yeah, this is baller. I like that drill. I do. I'm spoiling my call right from the beginning. That's a baller drill. This is a great way to teach your player how to go straight up. Now, the only issue is that where they're contesting the shot, it's pretty darn close to the inside circle. So for this court doesn't have one, but there's an inner circle that shows where you can take charges. If you have a foot inside that circle, a toe inside that circle, or anything on the line, anyway. Basically, any contact within that circle becomes an automatic foul for a referee. I believe that's only at the college level, and I don't know if these guys are college or not. I can't tell. They look like they could be potentially. A lot of them look, you know, pretty filled out. So, if you're going to contest, you might have to contest a little further out, because you're going to run into that issue where you're just going to foul people. But teaching people how to go straight up by just having you do it over and over again, and then also simultaneously teaching your players how to finish through legal contact, great stuff all around. That's the only thing I would say is just make sure that your guy is jumping outside of the circle and is not, you know, making contact there. Otherwise, great drill. This is something that high level, high schools, colleges should be doing. AAU teams should be doing, yes. The main gist of the drill is to put a plastic bag over your ball and then, tie it on there to lose feel of the basketball. This is the equivalent of like putting on some gloves or something when you're about to play basketball, like some work gloves or gardening gloves, because you're losing feel and touch, and it becomes more difficult to gain control of the basketball. The same thing applies to the plastic bag, except the plastic bag also has the added benefit of having a knot on there, so you're going to have a few dead dribbles, or it's going to dribble in the knot, and you're going to have to adjust to that without really being able to predict when it's going to do that. This drill might look like it's bogus, but it's not. It's a really good way to test your ability to feel the ball and challenge that while you're doing your normal drills. And then once you pull the bag off, that touch comes back, those little fine motor skills are able to kind of work their way back in, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier. It's kind of the, you're running with a weight vest and then you stop running with the weight vest and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm flying. Same deal. Again, looks like bogus, not bogus. And it's cheap because it's just a plastic bag. So you can get one pretty much anywhere, and it's not going to cost you anything more. Well, actually, it will. If you live in a state where they charge you for plastic bags, it will cost you a little bit. It will some sense, okay? But to make your game better, no worries. Follow. This is never gonna end. Tennis balls are not the magic bullet, guys. They're not. They're fine. when used in moderation for working on your offhand, working on dribbling without thinking about it too hard. Dribbling a tennis ball, as cool as that looks, I ask again, what are we doing? Why? Why? If you want to work on handling a ball that is a little bit smaller and that is going to challenge your hands a little bit because you just have less to work with, less room for error, pick up a women's ball, dribble that, right? You're gonna get roughly the same feel. You're not gonna be like palming it like you would with a tennis ball where you can just do this in your hand. No, it's still a basketball, but it's gonna be smaller and it's gonna be more difficult to dribble. Then when you go back to the guy's ball, you're Kyrie, you're perfect, you're awesome. Dribbling a tennis ball and that's a globetrotter move, man. Like, don't waste your time dribbling a tennis ball around, losing it, having it go everywhere because those things bounce like crazy because you think that that's going to be, again, the magic bullet. It's not. Bogus. No.
Cross. Dribble the ball. Dribble like it's a ball. There you go. Dribble like it's a cross.
Bogus. I already said my rant. It's the same problem. Unless you want to send your children to the circus and not to college basketball or to a high school team or, just to success, have them dribble a real ball. Please do not have them dribble a tennis ball. I feel like I keep saying this, like we keep doing this. Why? Bogus. Okay, let's actually break this down because, again, it's just hard to watch. What this is working on initially, the drops, is working on your offhand, keeping that active, because that's going to help you fend off defenders. But adding the little pivot thing to it is the equivalent of just being like, well, I'm going to pat my head and rub my belly at the same time, and that's going to make me better at basketball. Sound off if you think that's actually going to work. Bogus.
This is the weirdest finishing drill you'll ever see that actually works. I came up with this drill because of this man right here. One of the craziest high school mixtapes you'll ever see. But his hang time and his body control allowed him to finish among the trees whenever he wanted. Here's how you can train that quality. You need any object that's about knee height and you can jump over. You're jumping over.
Oh. No. Cut the tape. Do not do that. Do not do that.
For every make, you get 1 point. For every miss, you get -1 point. Your goal is to get to 5 points in the least amount of attempts as possible. Keep track of your number of attempts and try to lower that number every session.
All right. No. Big reason. You land on that ball, or you trip over that ball, and suddenly you pancake onto the floor, and you break something, you break your wrist, you're not going to be thinking, wow, that drill made me such a better finisher. You're going to be thinking, I was an idiot for putting something in the middle of the paint that, yes, I can jump over, but I'm not sure if I could jump over that 15 times without making a single error. You end up tearing something, breaking something. Don't do that. Okay? Why? It looks cool, but no. You want to... Let's take this seriously for a second, okay? If you want to actually learn how to finish a little bit further out from tougher angles, do something really neat. Take a little bit of tape, put it in the paint, like roughly where you want to jump off, right? Put it in the paint, be like, okay, this is a bit of a challenge for me to jump from here. And try and jump from that spot, and then finish. Because if you trip over the tape, you'll probably be fine. Because it's pretty flat. You go over that ball and you eat it, good luck, man. Because you have no idea what's going to happen. You put a box there? Why? A chair? Don't. You're not Blake Griffin. You're not going to dunk over a car every time to practice your finishing. It's dangerous. It's stupid. Don't do it. Ever. Bogus. Well, that's all I have on this little TikTok adventure that we took. There's a lot of stuff out there people are telling you to do that is not a good idea, as you could see, and I almost had a mental breakdown with a couple of them, but the big thing is that realize when you're looking at a drill, how does this apply? How can I implement this stuff the drill is teaching me into my game? And typically, going to the basics is going to work way better for you than anything that you will find on TikTok that's showing you this elite new drill that somebody created last week for content. So stay safe out there, okay? Thank you for watching this video. Like, subscribe, and I hope you have an excellent rest of your day. See ya.